Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good all to students. Okay, today we're going to continue chapter 5 on road safety or traffic safety. Okay, for the overview, did we know 1 million person killed annually in road accident worldwide? So annually, so currently COVID pun quite serious juga lah. I think more than 1.6 million people affected tapi belum lagi mati mati belum sampai lagi lah 30 juta ni. Okay, 20 to 50 million person injured annually in road accident worldwide. Developing country about 20 to 200 deaths per 10,000 motor vehicle registration. So this is the index that we refer how serious the rate fatality in countries, many countries. So in developed nation or developed countries, the rate is about only 2 to 5 deaths per 10,000 motor vehicle registration. And the effect, the cause of accident in developing country is around 1 to 2% of national gross national production or KDK, keluaran dalam negara kasar. So the effect of the cause itself. So even if you see the value is considered very small, 1%, 2%, but if we translate into the value of money, is quite huge. Later we share the figure about the value of money. Okay, this is the worldwide trend, but this one is really outdated, but still can be referred. The data comparison road accident injury and mortality rates, the rate itself, that we can refer to the high income country, low middle income, and low income country. Okay, we around Southeast Asia, the rate for fatality and the traffic accidents. Okay, the projected change in rank leading cause death and disease. Okay, short dailies. Okay, in 90s, the traffic accident ran at 9, but in year 2020, last year, 2020, it up to third rank traffic accidents. It become more serious. Okay, if you in detail, what kind of the specific category cause of death or disease itself. Okay, of course, lower respiratory infections, say, is the first ranking in 90s, and the rest is common common disease or illness. Okay, diarrhea, prenatal condition. This one is related to the depressions. This one heart disease, cardiovascular disease, TB, measles, okay, traffic injuries. But in 2020, now traffic injuries become at third rank, and also heart disease become number 1, and number 2 is major depression. So this is quite serious, major depressions or mental health. So in progress, or we have very critical period now. During the pandemic, I think this more serious. If not still maintained, I think it become number 1 in the current condition. Okay, now we focus on road accidents for introduction. What is road accidents? Road accident is a rare, random, multi-factor events always preceded by situation which or more road user has failed to cope the environment, resulting in collision of on the public highway, which should be recorded by the police. Term road accident itself, we refer to this particular event. Jadi kita nak kata road accident tu, dia bukan berlaku kemalangan. belum lagi ya. So kita nak tengok ciri-ciri dia. So antara ciri-ciri ni lah, kemalangan ni bukan selalu berlaku. Jadi kalau dah kerap sangat kemalangan-kemalangan tu ada something wrong. Tapi kemalangan itself tu, dia sebenarnya berlaku tapi jarang-jarang berlaku. Kemudian dia agak random, banyak faktor yang terlibat semasa kemalangan, dan dia akan melibatkan satu atau melebihi pengguna jalan raya yang mungkin pada ketika itu keadaan jalan, cuaca, kenderaan sendiri yang bermasalah dan berlaku di jalan awam dan akan direkod oleh pihak polis, polis trafik dan biasanya. Jadi ini yang kita termkan sebagai road accident. Jadi kalau dia berlaku di jalan kebun, bukan jalan awam sebagainya, jadi dia tak boleh sebenarnya kita jadikan dia reference untuk road accident, sebab setiap road accident ni kita akan rekod dan masukkan dalam statistik perangkaan, buku perangkaan yang dikeluarkan oleh Police Department untuk publish yearly lah kan. Rekod-rekod kemalangan, punca-punca sebagainya lah. Agak ekstensif dan detail komprehensif dia punya maklumat tu. Okay, accident are rare because they do not occur very often to individual. Okay, accident are random because they are tend to occur at a variety of relatively unpredictable locations. But somehow there are very specific location quite frequent accident occurs. So that particular spot we call it black spot or hot spot. Okay, accidents are multifactors event because they can be viewed as sequential change of the events. Kadang-kadang dia berlaku tu banyak dia punya terlibat punca yang akan berlaku lah, punca kemalangan tu sendiri. So dia tak berlaku single, but dia berlaku banyak punca dia. Okay, these are some photo that I'm taken from internet, some from local, some from international. So ni daripada luar negara lah kan. This one is in our country. I think this incident, if not I'm mistaken, might be in 2004 or 2003. This quite tragedies. Kemalangan melibatkan bas bertingkat di kawasan Gua Tempurung. Okay, these others accident of the photo. Okay, sometimes we cannot figure out how the accident happened if we look at this very dramatic and crossworthiness of the vehicles. Very, very tragic. Even if you drive a very luxurious car, you still cannot have very good safety if we have very serious impact or crashworthiness during accident. Okay, this one I don't know whether they're going to chase or try to have some space for parking lot. Okay, this one is not really accident, but just share to mention that do not abuse animal. Kesian binatang dalam Islam pun Rasulullah berpesan jangan kita aniai binatang sama ada peliharaan atau tunggangan. Berat sangat ni kan, kesian berat. Okay, next, how do road accident affect people? Okay, we have many type of the affect our life. First, of course, physical pain and disfigurements affect our body, our physicals. Okay, sometimes it can end up with the disability, our physical, our body part, might be have broken amputations. Okay, affect the traffic itself, congestion, travel time, delay on the road, inefficient logistic services. Okay, government have to bear the cost of accidents. Okay, we have financial problem because we cannot working. because we are sick, illness affect our physical movement. Okay, feeling sorrow and grief to the loved one. Sometimes we lost our family, our beloved due to the accident. Okay, if you look at the policy on safety, transport policy safety, it's very clear, is have the key to protect the public actually. To reduce loss of life, injury, and damage to property resulting from traffic accidents, to provide more secure environment for travels. It's very clear, it's very good, but in reality, it's not easy to manage the road accident. It's not really we can eliminate, or we cannot simply reduce huge significantly. It take comprehensive activity or comprehensive action. Okay, major factor of road accidents. So there is three main factor that contribute to the accident. First, of course, human factor up to 95%, and road environment factors 28%, and vehicle factors is 8%. But if you combine all together, human factor is 67, road environment 24, and vehicle itself 4%. But from the main factor is human. Okay, human factor include perpetual error. So sometimes we cannot run away from this situation. Driver or pedestrian look but fail to see. What the meaning by this term or this sentence? Sometimes during our driving, so we have a typical situation where we drive with not concerned into our situation, which mean mindless. Bawa kenderaan tapi pemikiran tu tidak fokus pada kenderaan. Kadang-kadang kita melayang, kita that they put the term look but fail to see. Jadi kadang-kadang kita memandu, pegang steering, we are driving our car, we pull our steering, our pedal, shift pedal, but our mind is not focusing driving activities. Distraction and lack of attentions. Sometimes we have many things to do. Ada gadget dah kan, ada OBD, display board, kadang-kadang bercakap dengan telefon sebagainya. Kadang-kadang bersembang, dia ada gangguan. Misjudgment of speed or distance. Ni kebanyakan for those who novice drivers, susah dia inexperience, jadi susah nak judge speed dan distance kenderaan di hadapan. Okay, lack of skill, inexperience, just obtain or get their driving license, very less in terms of the year of the drivings. Okay, lack of judgment, wrong action and decision. So it's not firm whether going to overtake or going to brake or to turn left, turn right. Okay, minimum of education, deficiency in actions, too fast, close following, so many things. Sometimes they have provoke or road bully style. Deficiency in behavior, reckless, aggressive, try to provocating. Impairment due to body state, to taking alcohol, drug. Sometimes we have a situation we cannot control our emotional stress, anger, fatigue, illness. Okay, next, environment factor includes adverse road design. This is quite common in many locations. We can find out this situation. So in next subtopic on road safety audit, we're going to cover this part more. Unsuitable layout and intersection design, poor visibility due to layouts, adverse environment, slippery roads, flooded surface. Now due monsoon term, so we have this particular situation, slippery and flooded surface. Lack of maintenance, so we do have many where the road condition is very poor. So I think last week or couple week they gone to virus, but our minister so they have hit the pothole and get injured badly injured. Okay, next, inadequate road furnitures and marking, insufficient and unclear road signs, poor street lightings. Okay, unexpected obstructions, roadworks, parking vehicles on the side road or street road. There are a lot of the illegal parking situation. Okay, vehicle factors include lack of regular maintenance, defective brake is quite serious. If you're going to travel long distance or even short distance, please ensure your braking system is properly function. So you must check the disc and also the drum of the brake system is under good condition. Okay, somehow tire also quite important. Okay, make sure the inflation is good enough, the pressure tire pressure is good enough, and the tread of the tire have good levels. Kena selalu check lah kan kenderaan ni. Sebab ini akan menyumbang kepada faktor kemalangan. Okay, what error do driver makes that cause accidents? So I think most of this statement we already covered briefly. Driving fast, then the posted speed limit is quite common. Failing adjusting driver, road and weather condition, turning left from right far and multi-lane traffic, tailgating, similar to close following. Okay, ignoring stop, yield, and other traffic signs. Sometimes they're going to turn right but not using the signal. Okay, rushing through the yellow and red light. Yeah, they jump to the red face. Red face. Okay, neglecting the signal before turning. Okay, talking on the mobile phone while driving. Punishing other driver. This kind manner of road bully. Always using high beam, highlight with approaching oncoming traffic. So the train, we noticed that some vehicle they use what we call high density light. What the name? The headlight of the vehicle is quite bright. Not yellow but really bright white color. It gives serious glare to other vehicles. Driving when tire or engine upset, avoid routine car maintenance. Okay, next we move to the road accident statistic. So if you look every year, the number of vehicle registration is increasing. Okay, the latest figure I think close to the 30 million, 30 million numbers, and also the road fatality. Okay, annually we got more than 6,000. So this is the scenario. Yeah, we have extensive in terms of the numbers accident record. Okay, since I think since 70, we start record the accident properly into the database system of PDRM or Cawangan traffic branch. Okay, if you look this scenario, yeah, it's quite old figure, but still we can refer this number, especially for the death. Okay, if you notice that annually we have a serious number of the death, more than 6,000, more than 6,000 deaths per year, and the total number of accident more than currently more than 500,000. 500,000. So if you try to figure the 6,000 more, that's due to the road. Actually, it can be equivalent with this incident, okay, where a typical jumbo jet plane can carry about 300 passengers. So if 6,000 actually is equal to 20 jumbo jet crash per year in our country, if we made the equivalent or try to compare with other vehicles, especially air transport. But this number, many of us notice that it's not really 6,000. We just taking 6,000, okay lah, 6,000 macam tak ada benda yang kita rasa tragis atau serius. Tapi kalau ada satu je kan, kapal terbang terhempas, wah, this very very tragic. Ya, betul, memang betul pun. Tapi sebenarnya baru satu atau dua kapal terbang terhempas. Memang tragis. Tapi hakikatnya, the reality of our road accident, we face 6,000 more per year. So equivalent 20 jumbo jet crash. Yeah. If you figure this particular number relate with the typical type of the transport, which is airplane, then people quite realize, wow, this very tragic. But reality, the number is number of the human. It's not the machine. Even you drive a vehicle, transport, air transport, water transport, even normal road transport. Okay, now we move to that I mentioned earlier about the GDP, National Gross Productions. Okay, this is the formula that we can value the money for the accidents. Okay, there is a study from Nogani that come up with the statistical life Malaysian motorists, which is 1.2 million. That means all the motorists, they can gain about 1.2 million in terms of the earn money for entire life. Tu value lah, value seseorang yang menjadi pengguna jalan raya ni. So seumur hidup dia akan boleh generate income sebanyak, dia akan boleh menghasilkan pendapatan sebanyak 1.2 million. So if you use this figure, okay, if we take this one taken I think 2009, figure 2009. So we can still use any other figure lah. Actually 2020, if you have the value, is okay. We not use any figure, but this taken from 2009, the figure is quite similar, more than 6,000. Okay, 6,745 fatality, okay, multiplied by the rate of the statistical life motorists, 1.2 billion, so equal to 8 billion in 2009. So we lost in terms of economy relate to the GDP. So this value is contributed to the GDP income. So it's just 1.2%, but translate into the value of money, it took about 8 billion. It's quite huge, 8 billion. Okay, next, we look at the fatality model and safety target in Malaysia. So how government take action to overcome issue of the traffic accident and fatality, because this is also part of the main agenda of the nations. Okay, if you look at this typical trend, okay, this is the data for the traffic accident due to the death, fatality. Okay, the black line. Okay, the red line is the prediction model using time series explanation model. So this one developed by late Professor Radhi Umar in UPM. Okay, in middle 90s, So they set the target to reduce the accident by 30%. So the target should be in 2000. They said this one is the middle 90. Okay, the target turn down or reduction 30%. So the outcome should be 6,389. If they do not do, if they don't do anything, so the number is going to jump into as 9,127. Okay, so they do something and they do something in terms of the road safety program. Then they come out the yeah, target figures. Okay, in terms of the fatality rates or index, okay, we can see here there is significant achievement during 1991 or 90s. Okay, the rate compared to the 10,000 vehicle registration, so the rate is 7.2. So after 2000 above, so the rate is going to down from 1000 to the 4. So government has set to manage the reduction of the rate. So by year 2020, we can reduce at 2.0 deaths per 10,000 vehicles. So why we set these figures? So to become a developed nation, so we have to do the commitment to ensure our road safety at the good figures. So the rate for developed nation uh, typically is more less than 2.0 figure for the 10,000 vehicle registration. That's mean within 10,000 vehicle travels on the road, okay, only two deaths. If not, more than two is quite serious. If you look the comparison, why we put this figure two? Okay, in third world countries, you see the figure of 10,000 vehicles deaths, the rate for the fatalities of the 10,000 vehicles facilities, no, registrations. Okay, in the African country, India, China, so they goes up to close to 200. It's quite serious. Jadi kalau pergi ke kawasan ni berhati-hati because the rate fatality is quite high. But if you compare to the developed nation, Japan, USA, Finland, Great Britain, even New Zealand, they have very, very low, very low in terms of the fatality index. That's why our mission target to get or to achieve 2.0 in terms of the rate of the fatalities. Okay, new set target by 20. This is old figure, but still we going to obtain this rate. Two deaths per 10,000 vehicles is first uh, the first figures. So the second figures 10 deaths per 100 populations, 100,000 population, and 10 deaths per billion kilometer travels. That means we refer to the meter odometer of travel vehicle all together in a billion. So it should be just 10. So we see the trend. 2007 3.7, 2008 3.6, 2009 3.5. So the numbers is start to going down. Okay, how to get road safety become our target to be solved. So there is three common approach. I think you all know this one. Three A's, which is approaches for educations, enforcement, and engineering aspect. So I will explain this further. What is the education all about, enforcement, and engineering. Okay, for educations, okay, government has set the program for early childhood training to initial driving trainings, changing attitude changing programs, road safety education in school, exercises, pedestrian and cyclist safety, driver training courses, safety program for elderly, road campaign. We have many road campaign. Okay, due to the enforcement. Okay, there is apps or the regulation based on Traffic Road Transport Act 1990 87 amendment. This is quite similar, but the amendment 1999. I couldn't access this one. Okay, I have the document I will share later. Okay, impose the summon due to the traffic violations. Yeah, to the drunk driver not wearing safety helmet and over speeding. Okay, enforce automatic summons or enforcement for the speed traps, speed limit on road, introduce public service as penalty. This just introduction. It's not really implemented yet. Okay, in terms of the engineering aspect, okay, the technology change to the motor vehicle, increase the safety, okay, automatic transmission, visibility term, anti-braking system, injury attenuation system. So I have some short video clip how they incorporate the safety aspect, especially for the luxurious car. I think quite common car nowadays we have this the facility to offer that can enhance the safety of vehicles. So let watch this sample of the safety car or advanced car for safety features. So first one, they have collision avoidance assistant. So also they can function at night missions. For the Lexus car. I think most of car nowadays they have this kind of system. So this system now, they introduce electric high beam. So high beam is quite affect the vision of oncoming vehicle itself. So they try to give some control situation where the beam itself can be lower side. They can dim the light. You see the difference. Previously the high beam, then after that they dim the beam. Even this introduced in 2005, but it's quite advanced technology. Okay, that's the safety feature, especially for luxurious car. Okay, next, engineering side, continue. Okay, especially on the road, and the traffic features. So we look into the access controls, improve geometric design, improve lighting and carriage delineations, improve road signings, suppression of vulnerable road users, focus on the cyclists and pedestrians. Identify the treatment for the black spot and road safety audit implementation. So later for the other subtopic, we're going to cover this more for the road safety audit. Okay, now they introduce a new 5E instead of the 4 previously. Now they introduced 5E. So what is other tools new approach? Okay, the previous three one is education, enforcement, engineering. So the next two new, so they look into detail on the environment, environmental issue, and then the evaluations. So or evaluation assessment. Focus more assessment. So what they have done, and they want to evaluate what the treatment they have implemented, and they're going to do the acting the CQI, quality continuous quality improvements. So we can look further for this 5E into these categories or pillars. The pillars that I have implemented. Okay, certification, enforcement due to the standards. Okay, monitoring enforcement activities. Okay, implementation of the automatic enforcement. Okay, auditing, maintenance of the safety of activity. Okay, advocacy campaign program and assessment effectiveness of the program that I have implemented. Okay, next we move to second part, which is under road safety intervention programs. So this one is focused more on specific target. Okay, and also is the declaration from the WHO. So specific on the activity declaration on road safety, decade of road action for road safety, 2011-2020. Okay, if you give history or chronology before we're going to continue the decade of the actual road safety. So begin with the first national road plan in 2006-2010. So what happened at the particular period? So government has launched national road safety plan for 5 years, 5-year plan. So this plan encompass for the 9 strategic or 9 pillars. Among the strategy is early childhood education, electronic enforcement, safety legislation, road engineering program, connectivity program. So what are the target for this particular road safety national road safety plan? So they try to reduce the accident up to 50%. Then is translate into from the 1.2 in 2005 to achieve 2.0 in 2010. And second, to reduce deaths of the population 100,000 from 23 to 10 deaths. And the third, reduce deaths per billion vehicle might travels from 18 in 2005 to achieve at 10 deaths. So what are the 9 strategy for that particular road safety plan? So they introduced one. I think some of this we have already discussed or explained. So furthermore is encourage public transport, enhance community participation. Okay, priority high risk user. Okay, public and private sector synergy in terms of funding. So these are the previous national road plan. So next, we have the new version. So the next, after they implement the first national road plan, which is 2006-2010, and later they come up with the second Malaysian road plan, which is 2014 until 2020. So to what? To implement or we in line with this the declaration from WHO or United Nations from United Nations declarations. So okay, this declaration or this document okay, National Road Safety Plan 2014 2020. So the scenario of road safety globally in Malaysia. So I think this one is already covers the figures. Okay, our condition road safety fatality in Malaysia. Okay, this one decade action for road safety 2011 to the 20. So from the United Nations so we also have our ambassador Datuk Mishayu our ambassador. So from there we design a road safety plan for 2014 to 2020 also initiate under the United Nations decade action for road safety. So under this particular road safety plan, so they have to focus on 5 strategic pillars. So in 2006 to 2010, they have 9 strategy. But in 2014 to 2020, in line with declaration of UN, so they only focus on the first 5 first strategic pillars, which is for road safety management, safety mobility and roads, vehicle, safer vehicle, safer road user, post-crash management. So the national plan provide coherent framework for implementation road safety initiative in our countries. So for this particular 5 strategic pillar, they come out with this particular activities. Okay, for example, this one strategic pillar for road safety management. This first pillar, road safety management. So now they have a focus on reduction speed, risk reduction for motorcyclists because we have number of many motorcycle accident or fatalities. Pedestrians, red light running. Okay, improvement vehicle safety standard, risk reduction for car equipments. Okay, this is the implementation of the program for Pillar 1 and also the rest. I will attach this document in Google Classroom for chapter 5 note later. Okay, these are the figure. The trend below they go down positively. So to target at benchmark or target is 2 deaths per 10,000 vehicles. Okay, this is the trend. The second one for 100,000 populations. Okay, this one for vehicle, billion vehicle travels, vehicle kilometer travels. Okay, this is the KPI for road safety. So they have 15 KPI for the road safety. Okay, this also taken as the part of the strategies, which is planning metric safety for road program, safety road program in Malaysia. So we have 3 main domain factor, human, vehicle, environment. So we have situation event before crash, during the crash, and after crash. So before crash, so we hope we focus on this particular division, especially for human, education, campaign, enforcement, vehicle, the standard of vehicle, active safety devices for environment. So we're going to treat or do something at the black spot area, the road safety audit implementations. So during the crash or compliant to the safety devices, so installation of passive safety device. So installation of safety device typically like seat belt, Seatbelt is part of the passive safety device. So they will react during the crash. Yeah, seatbelt, if you just wear at normal, they don't give any effect. But during the crash, if the triggered the impact, the safety belt will restrict or restrain our body. Okay, for giving road furnitures. Okay, after the crash, it should be the team of the paramedic, the first responder, first aid. Okay, rescue tools and the post center to treatment or to manage our victim. Okay, these are the real implementation of the planimetric in Malaysia. So if you focus the human factors, these are the program we already taken, we already conducted. The vehicle to introduce the new standard and environment issue due to the substandard design for the road. So this is the implementation of the program. The audit, the portrayment, motorcycle lane, IRAP, focusing on rating of the class of the safety road, 5 star, 3 star, okay, and others, with the implementation in our countries. Okay, let's do some this exercise. I think this simple exercise. Okay, actually this question is already asked in the final exam or test. I don't know whether it's going to use this question again or not. But this kind of the statement question been asked for final and task, final and the test. Okay, read the statement of the exercise. Two people were traveling at 120 to 130 km per hour for past 10 km, since leaving a bar where they had excessive drink. So they drunken, or intoxicated. The driver loses control on the sharp curve and the vehicle struck a tree. So they hit the tree. So they collide with the tree. The passenger is partly ejected. So penumpang dia tercampak keluar and killed. The driver had minor injury. Driver selamat pula. Bukan selamat lah, maksudnya tak mati. The driver is not killed. The driver is not had a serious injury but just minor injury. Rescue team arrived within 1 hour later. I think it's quite late, 1 hour later. So, what the question? Based on this incidents, how it can be related with the Haydn safety planning metric? So, macam mana kita nak jawab soalan ni? How to answer this exercise? So, Haydn planning safety metric ni yang tadi dah. So, kalau kita nak rujuk yang ni lah. Yang ni Haydn planning metric for road safety. Haydn tu maksud dia orang yang introduce dia punya planning metric ni kan. Dr. Haydn. Okay, macam mana nak buat? Okay, nak apply dalam planning metric tu. First, we have to find out the key word or key point. First, okay, we can highlight this one because they are traveling at the high speed. Consider high speed, 120, 130 high speed. Okay, and they had excessive drink, which is intoxicated, mabuk. Okay, lost control and sharp curve strike a tree. So ini semua ada faktor kemalangan. Okay, passenger ejected and killed. Okay, kenapa passenger ni ejected, tercampak dan terbunuh? The driver minus injury. Driver ni minus injury saja. Why? Okay, rescue team sampai lambat, late 1 hour. Okay, if you apply for the Haydn safety planning metric, so macam mana? So dalam this particular planning metric, so we have to key in the keyword we have already highlighted here. So to understand the scenario, okay, what the outcomes? Okay, first, before crash, they are speeding, intoxicated, loss of control, might be the braking system fail. There is no alerting system, especially for some vehicle. They have reminder for wearing seat belt. So they put the light indicators to warn wearing the seatbelt. Sometimes they have audio, noisy audio. Okay, the sub curve due to the road substandard. Okay, during the crash, okay, I think one of the victim, which is passenger, do not buck up the seatbelt, unbuck up the seatbelt. But for the driver, yes, I think driver have buck up the seatbelt and the functioning of the airbag. So if you want to have effective functioning of airbag, we must have buck up our seatbelt. Then airbag will function very well. They can protect us to get bad injury or serious injury. I think this situation happened to the drivers. The driver only get or involve minor injury. It's give the evidence. Okay, there is a tree without any concern about the roadside clear zone. The later we discuss about the tree beside the road in the road safety audit, and there is no guardrail to protect you due to the some particular location they have to install the guardrail. Okay, the human factor after post crash, non first respond, paramedic come but quite late. So this how we answering the situation on this particular issue or exercise. Okay, now we move to the road safety fatality target group. So if you look at this particular statistic percent, drivers category. So motorcyclists are major domain. Okay, in terms of the fatality, more than 60%, and then followed by car driver and pedestrians. So that's why in our target group, the main focus intervention strategy adopted in at these three particular group, which is motorcyclists, pedestrian, and car drivers. So if you look at for the motorcyclists first, the contributing factor to motorcyclists are due to lack of conspicuity. We cannot see very visible. Sometimes, yeah, because the visibility of motorcycle itself is quite small, so conspicuity is very lack. Okay, bad habit and behavior of the motorcyclist, less forgiven of road condition, or all the design of road condition is not really protected the motorcyclist. The guardrail itself is not really protected for motorcyclists. Barrier or a roadside, and lack of stability due to the two wheelers. Two wheeler ni tak stable sangat lah. Okay, what was the safety program for motorcycle already implemented in our country? So we have series of the motorcyclist program in terms of the intervention. First, we have implementation of motorcycle lane, running headlights, safety helmet, conspicuous clothing, fluorescent clothing, anti-speeding, anti-weaving, motorcycle paved shoulders. So if you look what the first one is motorcycle lane. So it's try to segregate. This one is the exclusive motorcycle lane. Try to segregate motorcycle from the other main traffic. In fact, Malaysia have world's first implement the exclusive lane for motorcycles because we have significant numbers of the motorcycle user. I think more than 50% our traffic composition come from the motorcycle users. Okay, and the study shows that reduction of motorcycle accident highly significant, which is up to 39% accident per year if they are using this particular exclusive motorcycle lane. But the issue now, not all the highway provide this particular motorcycle because it's very expensive to construct these particular facilities. Okay, next, running headlights. So in the middle 90, it was initiated to mandatory uh, light headlight for motorcycle. If you can remember that we show the trend for the predicted model from the 90 they start to target to reduce. So these are the introduction the program they have already implemented running the headlight. Dulu tak ada sebelum tahun 90-an there is no regulation to turn on the headlight for motorcycle but after 90s middle 90s they are compulsory jadi sebab sekarang motosikal kalau hidupkan terus lampu nyala say the police can give you a summon if you not turn on the headlight even the running at the daily or daytime Okay, next, safety helmet. So no other vehicle traffic use associate demand for head protection like motorcycle. Jadi kalau kita naik kenderaan lain tak ada menggunatopik keselamatan melainkan race car. Race car adalah kot, rally adalah pakai tapi common transport lain mana ada pakai safety helmet naik kereta, naik lori kata tak ada kecuali motosikal So ensure your head is very fragile if you're not protected. Okay, motorcycle involve casualty 3 times more likely to kill if not wearing safety helmet. Ini risiko the risk 3 times if you're not wearing a safety helmet to be killed. Okay, safety helmet able to reduce reduce head injuries, neck and face injuries. For the face, I think if we wearing full face type of the safety helmet, this one we consider half full, half cover full. It's not really full face, but half cover, not full face. Okay, safety helmet wearing in Malaysia is quite really not, really good in terms of the percentage. Okay, in fact, motorcycle death associated head injuries 55 to 87% due to the injury itself. Jadi bila kecederaan kepala ni terus menyebabkan kematian. The proper usage of helmet in Malaysia about 54%. Separuh je yang gunakan safety helmet properly maksudnya dia pakai dan ikat ketat lah kan 13% loosely fasten pakai tapi tak ikat lepas yang tu je okay and 24% not wearing safety helmet this one in 2001 so another researcher which is myself repeated the study to discover how the trend so in 2011 it's only 46% helmet properly used and 10% untie and 42% not wearing helmet at all so this study is covered for the rural area as well for this study the Kulatayan study I think is covered for the urban side but myself I cover also for the rural side that's why it's quite quite serious number 42% not wearing helmet if you go to anywhere in a rural area kawasan-kawasan country kawasan-kawasan kampung taman tak ada pakai pun helmet that's how the number is quite quite serious okay at the world WHO they also has specific program for motorcycle dedicated for safety helmet they have the specific manual road safety manual for decision maker and practitioner focus on safety helmet they quite serious on this matter so they put many advertisement or promo to overcome issue of the safety helmet. I would like to share some video clip from WHO promo video. So everybody chasing the girl because she did not wearing helmet. Then he did wearing the helmet. Okay, that's the message. Okay, in Malaysia we also focus on safety helmet program, which is under a community-based program for safety helmet. So if you want to buy a safety helmet, buy a series standard or series certified. So if you wearing very expensive helmet, but if you not tie or you not fasten, you useless. So you have to tie the fasten your safety helmet properly. So this one other promo. Fasten your helmet.
This is Lon. Lon never goes anywhere without his helmet. He thinks not wearing a helmet is not safe. But sometimes, just wearing a helmet is not enough. Fasten your helmet. You can make a difference.
So it's quite important. You have to fasten your helmet properly. Okay, next, conspicuous clothing. Dark clothing create less visibility, which might turn to be dangerous for drivers as they are not visible enough to other users. It's quite serious. Half of 53% Malaysian riders choose dark attire while riding. If you look at the trend, if you're wearing a jacket, leather jacket, jacket pun warna gelap, coklat, warna hitam. So this how it's really serious. Fluorescent attire, fluorescent clothing. Color increase conspicuity by 235%. So pakailah pakaian yang mempunyai ciri cerah fluorescent. So this fluorescent jacket can significantly increase motorcyclist conspicuity in the daylight in some circumstances. Bukannya baju penuh tapi vest, safety vest yang reflect color hijau ke kuning. Okay, these are some promo due to effect wearing dark attire in the night time is very risky.
This man is a responsible and smart rider.
Ni contoh yang baik lah kan.
Many riders are like him.
Tapi reality, awak tak pakai topi
Think
putih.
black is cool.
Pakai
They
topi
don't
hitam,
bother
baju
dressing to be
hitam.
seen. Much less bother about the taillights.
Kadang-kadang lampu tak
And
ada.
when that happens, this is what happens.
So this could be happen to anyone.
Being a good rider
So
isn't
please,
enough. Be
you
a smart
have
one.
to
Ride to be
wearing
seen.
bright
You
color
can make a
during
difference.
night time especially. The net anti-speeding, speeding increase risk of being involved in the crash, increase the severity of crash, increase speed limit from 555 to 65, which is 10 kilometers. Increase the fatality itself within 19 to 34%. Okay, this is the advertisement from the Thais. From Thailand. It give a quite interactive or meaningful message. So there's two person riding motorcycle. So they have to decide what to do if they encounter with the big lorry. We see the rest of the movie.
Good
ออกขวา
ออกขวาก็ลงห้องกะ
เบรกบอก
เบรกรถ10 ล้ออยู่ตั้งหน้าเบรกรถกับความกะ
So they try to discuss what to do when they encounter 2-ton lorry size. Some give suggestion to brake, some give suggestion to avoid, which is give impedance lanes, give horn. What actually happened? You see the rest.
Take care.
Kẻ bỏ hình đăng cả. Ở ý. Hàn
ชีวิต
Okay, you see, in real life, actually there is no time to think. Actually, it's not the typical you can set your mind to do this. No,
จริง ไม่มีเวลาคิดนานขนาดนี้
this is really happen right in the real life. You can thinking. It's sudden. Okay, next, anti-weaving. Close half of motorcycle agree that rider should who is good at weaving traffic able to save a lot of time. It is actually right because we can go in between other vehicles, but it's quite serious risk-taking behavior. Close to third motorcycle also aware that other vehicles are disturbed by their weaving behavior. Weaving, which is you go in between the vehicle, mencelah-celah. About quarter motorcycle love to ride a motorcycle because of the weaving opportunities. Okay, last part is pay shoulder significantly lower accident severity indexes at the pay shoulders. Surprisingly, higher number of 80% motorcycle not using pay shoulders instead of the main carriageway. So this what happen. Sometimes they do not provide exclusive motorcycle lane, which is separate segregation, but they do provide inclusive, which is the emergency lane or the pave, the shoulder itself, they pave for the motorcycle. But yeah, practically motorcycle do not appreciate that particular lane. They still to use the main carriageway. That's why it's quite risky. Okay, next we look at the pedestrian programs. Okay, according to the statistic, okay, the fatality of pedestrian involves more male, because I think the more the male, the gender have more activity compared to the male, the physical activities. In the rural area, more than 60% compared to the housing area. And more particular happen at the straight road because I think the crossing activities and careless crossing, jaywalking and whatsoever, they do not use the facility for crossing. Okay, pedestrian age involves casualty. Okay, 5 years and below only 9%, but the more is at the particular 11 and 15, adolescent age, 43%. So they are quite active to cross any road, because they sometimes they do not use any facilities, they just cross the road, risk taking. So now we focus which group: children or adolescent less than 15 years old, then elderly people they have to look after, and we have to accompany them, and adults and the young itself. Okay, for the children below 8 years, so they are young to able with the safety. So they cannot recognize the danger, just the speed. They seem the vehicle is friendly, they can they try to imagine the vehicle cannot hit them. The driver often do not notice because they are little and the height is not really seen, not really visible to the eyesight of the vehicles. Okay, elder pedestrians, protect yourself as pedestrian, walk on the pavement, not on the road. Pavement which is sidewalk lah kan. Pavement ni pun terapai kan, tapi in this particular sentence sidewalk side table. Okay, walk facing oncoming traffic if there are no pavement. So you can see, so bergerak berlawan arus di sebelah kiri kalau kenderaan kanan, so kita berada di kiri kan, jadi bertentang Wearing something bright, yellow, orange, the best for visibility. Okay, follow 6-step code crossing. Itulah kan, lihat kanan kiri. You have turn right, turn left, alert the traffic. Think ahead, then plan the safest road. Okay, this one for particular for special group. If you are disabled person, if you are the person who can walk but cannot run due to your impairment, okay, make sure you carry the bright walking stick to cross the road. Jadi kegunaan stick bright tu bukan untuk berjalan saja. This must not help you walk, but to make yourself visible to the other drivers. They have slow down and very careful. So jadi stick yang bright tu kan, macam fluorescent color ke orange ke, jadi membantu untuk visibility kita lah, yang golongan yang bermasalah. Okay, pedestrian safety program. So these are the particular implementation. Crossing at the zebra crossing, accompany the children, be considerate for senior citizen, traffic law for vulnerable users, beware of children, be alert of approaching cars. Okay, this some liputan, the simple documentary about the pedestrian safety. So they have a guard to accompany the children to cross the road safely. So dia ada wartawan, this reporter give some feedback or report the situation.
Het is hier een winterfest en natuurlijk, ik ben er ook bij. En over winter gesproken, het weer wordt de komende dagen ook winters. Dus een tip voor alle automobilisten. Denk om die winterbanden, want het kan af en toe flink glad worden en dan zijn ze toch heel belangrijk. Vanavond en vannacht af en toe regen, lichte regen. De temperatuur daalt tot tussen de 0 en de...
Tapi tiba-tiba berlaku kemalangan. I'm not sure really the for the real or just the drama. Sometimes they do it as the give some education to the people lah. If not real, it's okay lah. But if real very sad lah, dia bagi satu education, tapi dia kena langgar. But if they plan, it's okay lah. Sebab saja kan nak tunjuk, jangan buat liputan di atas jalanan macam ni. So if you want to do something good public information, do it properly lah. Connect the last part for the target group is car safety. Okay, car safety program. First, use seat belt, anti-speeding, drink driving, child seat. Okay, seat belt. Seat belt help driver control the car crash situation due to the fact hold the passenger place. Passenger and driver itself. Use safety belts is one of the most effective reduce road accident fatalities. Okay, the seat belt prevent type of injury, occupant mitigate their severities. This is proven.
Hello, Mary? Where are you? Yeah, reaching soon. Sorry. Okay, hurry up.
Oh, this one is not really about the safety belt. I taken the wrong. But this one relate to the speeding. Speeding car.
Okay. Just your name.
At just 40 kilometers per hour, there's a 25% chance of killing someone. At 60, it's 100%. So, kill your speed before you kill someone. Manage your speed. You can make a difference.
So, okay, this one is wrong video clip to explain the seatbelt. I have another one, I just put the wrong one. It's okay. But this one is related to the speeding issue. Okay, this just put the funny. Sometimes we need very complacent or do not disturb the driver while they are driving. That's why they put this particular sarcastic. just for funny. Okay, this is the relate that we discussed for about the speeding. So if we travel at the 50 km per hour, we hit someone. So the fatality of the rate is quite high. It's quite serious, quite high, which is up to 80%. So this situation, when we drive at 60 km per hour, we hit something very solid. So this is the effect. Okay, first, slightly injury. If you drive at 80 km per hour and we collide or collision with other vehicle, which is front vehicle, so it might have a serious injury. You see the front bumper maybe affect your leg. If you drive more than 680, which is 100 kilometers, 100 km per hour, you crash totally. very serious. Half the vehicle crashes. So the worthiness of vehicle is very tragic or terrible. Okay, this how the chart shows. If you going to drive at 60 km per hour, you hit someone at least 60 meter at speed of 43 km per hour. So this is the distance and the effect. If you brake itself, it gives some effect also. Okay, this is the risky if we drive vehicles and we accident with the pedestrians. If you drove at 40, it might took about 25%. If drive at 50, yeah, it will more than 80% average of that for pedestrians. More than 50, it might totally give impact of the death if you hit the pedestrian with over 50 km per hour speed. Okay, what happen if you go fast? You need longer distance to stop. You might not be able to do things correctly. You might skid off if you doing wrongly thing. So you can see this scenario. I just put this blur scenario when you driving fast. You can't see thing outside clearly. It seems to be fast to look at any object. So it's not very good practice to drive over speed. The next, drinking driving, which is intoxicated drivers. Alcohol slow down the function of brains. It causes lost balance, reduce ability to judge speed and distance, impair reaction and the ability to make decision, and increase confidence and aggression. So banyak case, there are too many cases in our country. Drinking driver, they hit or they accident with other user is very bad tragic condition. So many have lost life due to the accident because of the drinking drivers. Okay, the effect of the law, they can prove your blood alcohol concentration BAC greater than 0.1 gram based on liters. Your blood containing the alcohol concentration, you might face the law restriction and charge for drinking and driving. Okay, the last part is child seat. So we do have our child in our family. So now government has imposed all the vehicle equipped with the child seat, restraint seat for the children. Okay, infant seat or newborn baby can be used rear facing. Kalau nak letak ni, jadi kerusi tu menghadap ke belakang, rear facing, not facing front. Okay, booster seat should be used until a children can correctly fit at the leg or shoulder of the belt. Jadi booster ni dia bukan kursi penuh macam ni, dia booster ni dia lapik tinggi sikit. Jadi mungkin umur 7-8 tahun they can use the booster seat. Okay, children's child safety seat are designed to prevent injury for young children before the crash. If it's properly used, this seat reduces fatality by 71% and injuries by more than 50%. If you look at the function and the safety aspect, I think it gives a huge significance if we really want to secure our children, because this seat can give effect of 71% reduce fatality and 50% for injury. However, to maximize effective, the seat must be properly installed and the children fully restrained within it. That's why now the trend, all the car they introduce ISOFIX chair or ISOFIX seat. Maksudnya kereta tu sendiri dia punya kerusi dah di-standardkan dengan ISOFIT punya features. Kereta lama-lama tu tak ada ISOFIT. Kereta baru ni semua dah ada. Kereta Proton semua dah ada ISOFIT. Tapi kalau European car, Continental car, dah lama dah dia orang buat ISOFIT design. Maksud ISOFIT ni kerusi yang dalam kereta tu can fitted chassis or any chassis standard. Jadi fit elok lah kan. Bila pasang tu kemas cantik lah kan. Okay, I think that's all for cover topic today. Okay, I think the next will be cover for next lectures about the road safety audit. Okay, I think that's all for now. So we can discuss a little bit further.